Hello,
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How is everyone?
Doing all right.
That's
Hi.
great. Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Carrie.
Hello.
Well, it's 3:01. Trying to see what we all have here on the call. Let's see. I think we need to wait for a few more folks. Am I right, Sarah, as far as calling the meeting to order?
Let's see. Sorry, I'm on my phone because my laptop doesn't have sound.
Good.
Participants. One, two, three, four. We have four commission members. So we could start, but if you want to wait for Andrea and Rec and
Yeah, we'll give it a few more minutes.
Mayor. Holly, do you know if the mayor will be joining us?
She had not told me that she was, and Andrea did text me she's going to be a little late. She's in another meeting held up, so she could be like maybe 10 minutes or so.
Okay. We'll give it another minute or so and then we'll get started. That's fine. All right, well, we can go ahead and get started. So we have Bear joining us from Pearls Island. But yeah, we can go ahead and get started. I'll call the meeting to order. Can I get somebody to motion that forward? Or second, mostly that. All right, sweet.
I'll second.
Thank you. Well, we'll officially start this quarter's Minority Business Commission meeting. Thanks for joining us. Sarah, if you got anything to kind of open up with, feel free to. But from here, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll vote on opening the meeting,
Okay.
calling it to order. All for ayes.
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Any nays? Perfect. You can go on to the next thing.
Okay. So looking at our agenda here, we got a full list of things we got to cover. First and foremost, we'll look at the 2021, January 2021 meeting minutes. Sarah sent that out earlier today, I believe. I'm sure if you guys have got a chance to look at that, but we want to approve those meeting minutes. So I'll go ahead and put that motion forward. Do we approve the meeting minutes for January 2021? Go ahead, can I get somebody to second that motion?
Second.
All right. Anyone opposed? Okay.
So I have a question. This is Kajal.
How you doing, Kaja?
I'm good. Sorry to stop you in the middle, but was I supposed to get the minutes too, or this is just for the people who are on the commission? So just want to make sure that I didn't have to say yes or something. So
Yeah, so the meeting minutes, the commission members will review and vote on them, and then we post them to the website once they're approved.
thank you.
Good question. So yeah, I guess let me first kind of recognize some folks who are not a part of the commission here on the call, and it looks like some of the folks from our focus groups have joined us, which is greatly appreciated. So if you guys kind of, I may be out of order here, but you guys want to kind of say who you are and what business you guys are representing before we go forward, I think that'd be appropriate. So we can start, I'll go start with just who's on my screen first. The Kajo, did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
So tell us more about yourself.
Sure. So my name is Kajal Kapoor. I live here in Charlottesville, Virginia, and I'm the principal of Kapoor Energy Environment Economics, LLC, which is precisely what its name says. We provide environmental sustainability solutions using economic approaches to federal, state, local agencies, institutions, and private firms. And we have an office in downtown Charlottesville as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. We'll go with Sobir.
Hello, everyone. Sobir Pierre with Pearl Island Foods. We cater. We have a cafe. So we're a Caribbean business, and we just feature different cuisines from the Caribbean. And so we're located at the Jefferson School City Center downtown. And yeah, I guess we've been in business for about 7 years, at the Jefferson School about 5. Come check us out. Nice to see everyone.
I'm gonna hate to say his name. Martine? You're muted there.
It's Martine.
Martine,
You said
okay.
it well.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
It's okay. My name is Martine Fenari, and I am from Fluffy's Pet Shop. We sell apparels, accessories for pets, along with healthy treats and CBD oil. We are located in the Barracks Road Shopping Center.
Awesome.
And we very soon will be launching Fluffy Streets online.
Got it. Well, thanks for joining today.
Thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm. And I believe one more, Jocelyn Lou. I don't know if you can hear me, but if you want to kind of tell us who you are and what business you're representing, or if you're representing the business, and if you're in Charlottesville, how long?
Hi, yes, thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this really wonderful commission and opportunity. I was in contact with Mrs. Hawthorne. I'm not affiliated with a business necessarily. I was so fortunate to be able to be in contact with Ms. Grooms and Ms. Hawthorne. I am a UVA student, personally interested in learning more about SWAM businesses, and have been able to be a part of a university project in partnership with UVA Procurement. So here to learn as much as I can. And again, I'm deeply appreciative of Mrs. Hawthorne for this wonderful opportunity. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you. It's good to have, so this is fairly new. We haven't had many guests before, so I'll be honest, it's a little different, but it's greatly appreciated. I'm Mark Menifee. I'm the community chair of the Minority Business Commission. Then we have Rec LeConte, who's the vice chair of the commission. So welcome. We have a long list of agenda items, and for those who are going to present agenda items, I think it'd be cool just to introduce yourself to the folks who may be new to seeing your face as you go forward. That way they can kind of match name with what you're talking about. I think that'd be cool. And then at the end, we'll certainly have room for Q&A and things that we can kind of discuss further once we get through the agenda. So you guys, I'm sure you guys didn't get the agenda totally. We're going to post it, as Sarah kind of alluded to, once we approve things going forward. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sarah, but that's kind of how we'll handle it. But you guys are certainly, we're glad you're here. All right. So next on the agenda item, we kind of got that, underway. Is we're going to go through a Office of Economic Development update. So I believe that was Holly.
Yes, so my name is Holly Lee. I'm with the City of Charlottesville Office of Economic Development, and we oversee the city's minority business program in partnership with the Division of Procurement and Risk Management. So Sarah and Bernice, you're also here on the call. We have in our office the individual who is the kind of the counterpart or the colleague of Sarah. She does procurement portion of minority business, and we have the development piece. So our minority business development coordinator lives in the Office of Economic Development. That position is currently vacant. Zoe Smith was in that for almost 2 years, and she left us for another opportunity. So just a quick thanks to her for all that she contributed over the past almost 2 years. And some of you probably remember her, that she had reached out to you and helped with some things. So the first item I just want to quickly go over is the fact that we are hiring for our minority business development coordinator position. And that closes tomorrow, Friday, April 23rd at 5 p.m. And we've had that open for 2 full weeks now. And that position, when it closes, we will review it in the Office of Economic Development, and then we'll reach out to candidates and do interviews and hopefully find someone who will be able to come on board with us in the next month or so. So that's what we're looking for. So if you know of individuals who might be interested, there's still, today and tomorrow to get the applications in. And so we'll definitely be certain to update y'all at the next quarterly meeting, which by that point, I would hope we would have someone in place. Since our last commission meeting, we have undertaken a lot of initiatives. We wanted to really come out the gate in the new year with a lot of new programming for minority and women-owned businesses in Charlottesville. And so one of those things was our Business Equity Fund mini grant program. And so we do have a Business Equity Fund low interest loan program, but we kind of retooled it a bit and made it a mini grant. So that was for businesses in the city of Charlottesville that are considered socially disadvantaged. And in most cases, that would be minority-owned businesses or women-owned businesses. And we ended up issuing 16 $2,500 grants to businesses in Charlottesville. And that was a total of $40,000. And that money came from a private contribution from another business in a larger business in our community, and then also from grant money that we had. And so in addition to receiving the money, businesses also got an opportunity for training to grow and enhance their business. So they did a growth wheel webinar with our Small Business Development Center. And then they also had some one-on-one business consultations. So I do recognize that some of you on the call today, in the meeting, they received the mini grant. So at some point, when you feel free to share with us how that experience worked for you, and let us know how it went. And in addition to that, we have been working with C3, which is the Community Climate Collaborative here in Charlottesville, to issue mini grants for minority-owned businesses that would like to incorporate sustainable practices into their operations. And so that's really focused on energy efficiency. And so oftentimes it'll be lighting related or new equipment that's Energy Star rated. And so we've recently given out 4 grants totaling $3,000 to minority businesses in Charlottesville. And some of the things they purchased with that was lighting, an energy efficient hair dryer, an Energy Star under the counter refrigerator for a new restaurant in Dairy Central. And so we're trying to help businesses not only gain access to capital so that they can grow in and expand their business, but also to help them save money ultimately. And you know, that'll contribute towards their bottom line. The less they pay in energy, the more they can contribute back to their business. And so I know, so Bear, I believe you may have been a recipient of one of those awards in the past. This is our 3rd year of doing it. You know, also be willing to speak on that if you'd like. We also ran a Go Startup cohort, another one, and we had 9 individuals who graduated from that. So we have 9 new businesses in the city of Charlottesville. And, you know, that was anything from catering to consulting and transportation and just a wide variety of businesses. And we're planning for another one of those in May. We had one scheduled for April, but due to Zoe's departure, we had to delay that. So we're hoping that we can pick that back up in May because we have a lot of interest there. And so that's for individuals who are trying to start up a business in Charlottesville. And they also, in addition to the technical assistance that they get throughout the 4 weeks of training, they also get $1,500 towards the startup of their business. In addition to that, the Office of Economic Development as a whole has been trying to develop a recovery plan for businesses in Charlottesville. And we've entitled that the Recovery Roadmap, a plan for business recovery in Charlottesville. And we've conducted 3 listening sessions over the past month or so just to get feedback. But in addition to that, we had the minority business focus groups that a lot of you all participated in. And we took that information and combined it with the information we got in the larger sessions. And we also did a survey as well. And so from that, we've gleaned a lot of information about need. So, you know, recovering from COVID-19, what that looks like for you as a business owner and what you need. And we're really focusing on the areas of financial assistance. So things like grants, low interest rate loans, just ways that we can, you know, put money into your business so that you can have a new capital investment there. We also are looking at training and resources. Of course, workforce development and training is a big piece of what we do. Infrastructure, so things that the city can do as a whole in order to help impact your business. And then marketing and advertising, because one thing we heard across the board was that people, you know, need to know that y'all are still in business and that you exist. And we want to make sure to draw people to you. And so what we've done is, from some of the feedback that we've already received, we've started some training. We've already planned training around that. And so the one focus group that I had, the Minority Business Commission focus group that I had the opportunity to be in, I mean, there were some really great ideas. And so we hit the ground running with that. And so starting in May, and I'll make sure you all get this information, we have a series of workshops coming out specifically for businesses. And so, you know, one of them is excellent customer service. And so I remember Martine had mentioned that in the focus group. We have human resources basics. And so anything from benefits and recruitment and retention. I know Bear had mentioned that. We have bookkeeping. So that's oftentimes a big task for businesses. Photography, that was mentioned by some businesses on the downtown mall. So in addition to getting training on how to take really good pictures so that you can use them for your own marketing purposes, we're going to have a professional photographer who is going to do a photo shoot with your business and give you 75 edited photos that you can use for social media, for your website, those sorts of things. And then we also have a class on social media marketing. So we really took to heart what you all said, and we've put together this training series. We hope you'll join us. We are continuing our Go Express training series that some of you have participated in. I know, Martine, you've been in those, and we've covered things like ServeSafe. We've done three rounds of that. We've done Speaking Like a Pro, public speaking, so pitches for your business, leadership, Microsoft Office. So just things that'll help you grow and enhance your business. So again, we're open to ideas. And so if you have other thoughts, we want to hear those, and we will take what you say and we'll put it into practice. So thank you all.
Thank you, Holly. I just had a quick question to follow up on what you said. Were those trainings going to be all in May? I know you mentioned a list of them.
They will be in May. And so each one will be about 6 to 9 hours per week. So a business could participate in all of the offerings throughout the entire month if they had time, or they could assign a different representative from their business to participate.
Okay. And I guess people are going to hear about it via email and Facebook posts and all that good.
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
we're almost ready to push it out, and then I'll send that, and then you can get registered online. But yeah, we'll do emails, we'll do social media, and we'll make sure we get the word out there.
Okay.
Hey, Holly, I know you, there were some ServSafe classes that were sent through email, and those happen to be, let's just say, during a least opportune time for me in the morning. Do you know, is there any way to do some in the afternoon or even on a weekend?
Yeah, that could definitely be a possibility. So that's the kind of stuff we need to hear. What's the best time for you? So like our next one that we have, we can host it, like you said, on the weekend or in the evenings.
Yeah.
And we can do that. That's not a problem.
Okay.
And will any of them be recorded? I know that was one of the takeaways from the sessions we had.
So the business ones, the Recovery Roadmap Training Series, they will be recorded. So the information will be available to businesses after the fact.
Sweet.
And to Holly's comment about the grant, I mean, the Office of Economic Development has been fantastic. I mean, since the beginning of when I was, trying to do something, and just very helpful. Every little bit helps, and whether it was getting a wrap for my van or being able to purchase a tent, like all these things were just key elements to helping us grow, and obviously just there's the staying committed part in doing the things on your end, but the Office of Economic Development just does a great job of supporting wherever they can, and not just financially, but just in helping you think things through, and just whether it's what your business plan is, what you're looking to do, those kind of things. So, or even just pointing you in the direction of someone that can be helpful to move forward. So I definitely appreciate that.
Good stuff.
Thank you. And I would just say, Bear, he is like the perfect example of the life cycle of a business in Charlottesville. So I remember the day he came into my office with this little jar of pickles, and he made me taste it, and it tasted great. And he's gone from that to, this business in Charlottesville where he's hiring people from our community to work in his store. He's feeding our community. And so I'm just so excited to have worked, with you over those years, So Bear.
Thank you.
Now we all got to go get something from Pearl Island.
I strongly encourage it.
Nice. Thanks, Sobear, and thank you, Holly, for the update. So we'll kind of keep going with the agenda. Next up is procurement update, I believe. Yeah, procurement. Bernice, is that you or Sarah?
Oh, it's me. So
Okay.
thanks, Mark. My name is Sarah Hawthorne. I'm the Minority Business Procurement Coordinator with the City of Charlottesville, and I'm gonna talk about some of the updates that we've had. So as part of the minority program, procurement program strategy, one of our good faith efforts is to participate in pre-bid meetings and pre-proposal conferences, instructing potential bidders and offers on the city's supplier diversity program on how to search for certified businesses. I've attended 4 meetings, so 2 virtual and 2 in person. And the Office of Economic Development has had a representative at a couple of the meetings that we've had virtually, which has been great to have to speak on both sides of the minority business program. And so I've also reached out to key project managers in public works, facilities maintenance, and facilities development, asking them to let me know about upcoming projects so that they'll keep me informed on when they're scheduling their pre-bid conferences. And so the other thing that I wanted to talk about was last time we met, we added an alternative category for folks who are signing up as vendors with our system. Instead of saying that they were SWAM certified through the Department of Small Business and Supplier Diversity, we're offering them a chance to self-certify. And so we've designated that as an alternative SWAM category in our system. And just to keep you up to date, we've had 9 businesses take an opportunity to, I was going to say declare, taxes are on my mind, but we've had 9 businesses who have chosen that category. So we've had 2 small businesses, 2 small minority businesses, 1 small micro, and 4 women businesses who have taken the alternative SWAM self-certification on in our system. And I do have the list of those businesses listed out, but again, we do, when we do talk to vendors, we do talk to them about going in and logging back into the system so that they can update their details in our system. And one way that they can do that is by choosing that alternative SWAM certification setting, if they want to update that, and or to update any of their contact information. So that's it for procurement.
Awesome. Do anybody have any questions for the procurement side? And Sarah, I don't know if you can, maybe you want to kind of go a little bit more in depth and kind of provide our guest on today's call with some of the high level objectives that you guys are trying to do in advancing minority businesses within Charlottesville and that kind of thing. I think that'd be helpful to hear, because procurement's kind of this thing off to the side sometimes, or at least it's perceived that way. I think it'll be good for you to share that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that so I see that my role in the scheme of things is to help connect vendors, especially within our small women, minority, micro, veteran-owned businesses, with the buyers and project managers in the city of Charlottesville. And so helping them make that connection with the people who actually do the buying within our government. And so a lot of times when I'm out talking to folks and meeting with folks, I'll get their email address, and then I will set them up. I'll write up an email and connect them right with that buyer and copy them on that email so they have that introduction, because I understand how cold calling or cold emailing can be a little jarring on both sides. So I think that it's a way to make that introduction a little bit smoother. And so the other things that we've tried to do is to incorporate our minority goals of increasing minority participation or SWAM participation at all levels of our purchasing. And one way that we've been doing that is to encourage the buyers within our city government to go to our directory of SWAM certified vendors that we have in our planning district 10 area. And so we've taken a list from the state of Virginia's certified list, and then we've narrowed that down to just those who service the planning district 10 area, which includes the city of Charlottesville, counties of Albemarle, Greene, Louisa, and I'm forgetting what, Fluvanna County. There we go. And so when folks are looking at purchasing between $0 and $10,000, they get a single quote. We encourage that our buyers get more than one quote, but again, it's that single quote limit. And we ask them in the instructions to go look at this directory and see if they can find a minority or woman-owned vendor who has that service that they're looking for. And then, of course, we actually have those instructions when we go out to solicit for any kind of service or good. We have on our instructions, and when they put in their bid, their list of bidders that they want to send their solicitation to, we ask that they look at either the directory that we have or the state's directory, so that they are trying to at least add 1 or 2 SWAM vendors to that list, so that we're, getting some participation of, these vendors that are out there. And I know I get a lot of questions about, does the city have set asides? And which means does the city set any particular money aside towards minority or women-owned spending? And we do not. There are various institutions like the state government or the universities that do have set-asides. And I would say one of the advantages of getting your SWAM certification through the Virginia Department of Small Business and Supplier Diversity is that the state agencies like the State Forestry Agency that's here in town or University of Virginia, they have set-asides. They have a certain percentage of their spend that goes directly towards minority-owned and small women businesses. And so if you have your certification and you meet the criteria and you engage in business with them, they are very happy to do so because they have those dollars to spend. And if you are not the lowest bidder on the list when they're doing their evaluation, if you're above the lowest bid by a certain percentage, then they could award to you because they have set-asides. Now, the city doesn't have those set-asides because we don't meet the legal standard to do that. And so we find that a lot of businesses are just really competitive because you guys are here to stay in business. But we really, really want to include minority businesses at every level. We really try. And then also that SBSD SWAM certification is important to not just doing business with the city, but also with the other institutions in town. So hope that provides a little structure.
Yeah.
And Mark, if I could just add,
Go
just
ahead.
to make sure everybody's clear on procurement's goal. Our goal is to increase the number and scale of minority-owned businesses contracting with the city within applicable law. So some of the things that Sarah talked about are ways in which we do that. And we just strive to achieve a level playing field for all companies so that they can have access to the public procurement opportunities.
Mr. Chair, could I ask a question? Ms. Hawthorne, with regard, you said we don't have the legal standard for the city set-asides. Are you able to articulate what that is by chance?
Within the Virginia Public Procurement Act, so we call it the VPPA, a locality has to have a disparity study done in order to do set-asides. And so we haven't had a disparity study done. I believe, the city has had a minority business program since the 80s, but it's only been recently that council has put actual employees dedicated to a minority business program in procurement and in the Office of Economic Development. It's been what, 3.5 years, maybe 4. So I think that they're hoping that participation will increase with the efforts of the program and then go from there to see if we need to do a disparity study.
Thank you. I mean, that's my hope that we get to that point. I think that's a game changer in the standpoint of having those set-asides and having funding available for, I believe, many of the businesses in Charlottesville. But that's something that we'll probably have to work on. And just to provide context, so at least my participation within the commission here, certainly been 3.5 years or so, as Sarah alluded to, and that's where the efforts have really picked up with Holly spearheading a lot of that, Bernice spearheading a lot of those efforts to get folks like Sarah on board, like Zoe, to help champion some of these programs and initiatives that we're starting to see flourish right before our eyes. So that certainly speaks to their efforts for sure. All right, any other questions for Sarah? Or just in general about what we're talking about? Okay, I'll keep moving on the agenda here. So next on the agenda list here is the focus groups. that we had back in March 15th and 16th. Hence why some of you guys are on the call today. We had 2 focus groups on March 15th and 16th. One was facilitated by myself with Holly and Sarah joining as well. And then Bellamy did the other one on the 16th, where he also had some help with the board here. It was great feedback for one. The objective really was to get the voice to the community, I would say, and helping us establish some go-dos, which Holly alluded to earlier, which Sarah's kind of been working on the procurement side as well, to help the needs of the community. I think that was the overall objective, and having a face with the Minority Business Commission. I know something that is relatively new to Charlottesville. And so having that piece where we kind of connected with community as a commission and help establish ourselves. So there was some connection there, as well as get feedback from the community to help the city out with efforts to move things forward was the overall objective. So we did that back the 15th and 16th. I just want to kind of point out a few highlights and then give the floor to Bellamy to kind of give his point of view on it, as well as offer Sarah and Holly the chance to speak to it as well. But overall, good turnout. I think the main themes and the main feedback that I certainly got from it all was mainly around the training component. I think there was a huge cry out for just help and develop professional development, as well as some of those business management skills that the team is already working on clearly here in May to get those efforts rolling. The other component I think was spoke highly of, another theme I think that was kind of captured was communications, either with the city, with other businesses within Charlottesville, with other resources that could help, maybe a consultant role, was something also that was captured within the scope of the conversations that we had. And overall, I just felt like it was a feel-good moment for myself just to be able to hear that feedback and have the city there to help really listen and start to develop some actions behind it. As we'll see moving forward. The goal is to get things done. So with what Holly was saying and kind of what Sarah alluded to, we want to actually see those things happen. And, we're here as a commission to help at least help those efforts out in any way we can, whether it be a community kind of stepping in and giving some assistance in any way, or just helping provide some feedback was really where we're at as a commission. Sarah, Bellamy, you guys want to chime in terms of your perspectives on the task, on the focus groups and kind of what you took away from it?
Sure. It's my understanding, I guess my session went a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
I found it informative overall. Some of the feedback that we had received were, I guess businesses were looking for a more coordinated effort between the commission and the Downtown Business Association. Looks like help in marketing was another key component. There was brought up the topic of one-pagers, one for process map of the procurement steps. The other was some of the items that the city purchases. There was the ask for, I guess, more expos, a little bit more multicultural representation overall, and then a big hit was a black directory of businesses. So those were, I guess, some of the points that came out of that in terms of, I guess, needs overall.
Sarah, Holly, you want to speak to your point of views?
Yeah, I participated in the March 15th one. And so what I really picked up on was a lot of things that you mentioned, Mark, but also having some tools, centralized tools that have a lot of the, some of the data, sort of a central hub for the data that people can go to surrounding, information about the city of Charlottesville, so that they can figure out what their target group might look like. Mm-hmm. And so centralizing that information, I thought was a great takeaway.
I thought the focus group that we were in went great. And I left it feeling very excited about the opportunities that you all presented to us. And so, we immediately started to get together and really start to act on some of the things that you all suggested. And as part of the recovery roadmap plan that we're doing, some of those other items in the second focus group that Bellamy mentioned, we are touching on those also, but almost more as like a collective effort across the city. So a lot of the marketing, I'm seeing the opportunity for like cooperative marketing opportunities. So we buy the marketing, and then that allows each individual business to purchase in at a much cheaper or discounted rate. So I definitely see something like that is probably coming. Some of the infrastructure stuff like signage and things like that are potentials that were brought up in the larger groups. And so I definitely see, some of the things that were brought up in other areas as potentials of as well. So I think those things are coming. So we will definitely be relying on the businesses to give us more kind of thoughts and feedback about what we ultimately come up with. And so if it's not on the mark, we need to hear that.
Right. And I'm kind of thinking, this is me thinking out loud. I mean, I know Zoe did a lot of the legwork and setting up the last focus group, but it may be helpful to have maybe some forum where we can follow up at some point with the businesses that were in attendance, or offer other businesses to sit aside and for another focus group of some kind. Maybe not as pointed as asking questions as much as it is providing more of an update on some of the actions that were coming out of that, just to get more into the weeds of it. But we'll think through that one to see if that makes sense. Any of the businesses online? I know we have a number of you guys there. But kind of your feedback from the focus groups and what you want to see moving forward. Anything you guys want to speak to at this time?
Yeah, I have something, if I can, Mark.
Hey, Troy.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Good.
One of the things that I found the disconnect was Holly's doing everything and her group is doing everything that they can. But when it comes down to like getting in contact with the people who actually work for the city, like zoning, they don't exactly get back to you in a timely fashion, even though they still may charge you for being down at the downtown mall. So if you have a business that operates on the downtown mall in that area and you're getting charged to have your spot there, they should at least do some type of communication with you to let you know where they are. That's the problem I ran into. I was fortunate enough to receive a micro grant, and the micro grant helped pay for stuff from the city, but I've been trying to get in touch with the people down there since November.
Okay.
So that part I'm not really understanding. Sorry for the noise. I'm out here at my food truck working. But that's just something that it's a pothole in everything that I felt like Holly and them were doing, because they're doing everything that they can. But then you're relying on people that may not be in these meetings to do their part to facilitate what the businesses need. That's just what I ran across.
Okay.
So I would say there, Troy, if there's anything specific that you need, just shoot me an email. We have facilitated some of the communication between the business owner and other departments. For instance, with the Business Equity Fund mini grant, we did pay some like people's downtown mall vendor permits.
No, y'all did that for me, and the person
so we did that.
Me,
okay.
But they didn't respond back. They just said, "Oh, I heard you were trying to get in touch with me," and then there was no more correspondence.
Okay.
That was the email that they sent.
Okay, all right.
So it sounds like there was some follow up there. I don't know if it's sounds like much more of a individual kind of personal issue with respect to what you were facing with Troy. I don't know if it's a process issue or not, Holly. It's something we can look into.
Yeah.
I will.
Anything else? Anybody else from the groups, focus groups, want to comment on anything that we may have missed in this conversation? Okay. Right. Okay, so we got NBC vacancy. Sarah, you want to speak to that? We got is that what Holly spoke to earlier about Zoe?
This is actually, this is the commission seat vacancy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, I'll let Sarah go ahead with that one.
Yeah, I understand that our co-chair, Rec LeCount, is going to be leaving us in June. And so we've given this information to the clerk of council, their office, and they're going to be, I guess, posting it at the appropriate time. They probably won't advertise until the seat is vacant officially.
It's posted now.
Oh, it is.
The deadline for the application is June 11th.
Okay.
Can you send me that link, Holly?
Sure thing.
All right. Anyone knows who was interested? I mean, clearly you can be a part of or be the co-chair of this commission. So certainly want to apply for that. And Rick, we certainly appreciate you. Wish you all the best.
Thank y'all. Love to stay on longer, but I'm graduating from UVA next month, so
Yeah.
bittersweet.
Yep. Moving on to Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right. Thank you. So that is posted. We'll look to fill that role here hopefully soon. And I think that concludes at least the main meat of the agenda. As far as any comments from any of the public or any additional comments anybody will want to make, we can make it at that time or this time.
And I guess at the next meeting, we can vote to see who can fill Rec's seat for co-chair.
Okay.
It doesn't have to necessarily be the new commission member.
Okay. That sounds good.
Do you need a co-chair?
According to the bylaws, we need one.
A co-chair?
A
You
co-chair,
put it
yeah.
in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
I think the bylaws
Guess I
is
should read
technically
it.
called vice chair, but
Yeah, I think it's vice chair.
Vice chair, okay, that's what was throwing me off. Okay, got it.
Vice chair, I'm sorry. All right, any other comments? Okay, well, if nothing else needs to be said, a motion.
Hey, Mark,
Yeah.
I'll just make an announcement from the
Okay.
Minority Business Alliance. We have our next meeting date on the map, which is May 25th.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Tuesday, May 25th at noon. Our topic for May is preparation for your business elevation. Very strategically planned meeting, given our recent discussions on monies that we know will be allocated, I think more than $2 million to our economy from the federal government. And of course, this is all based on resilience and sustainability efforts. 1.4 billion directed specifically toward women and minority-owned businesses. If they're prepared. Now, so that's the idea. This is what we're all about. Let's get people prepared, not just for business, but to scale up and to, retain, to move forward. So that meeting was developed in that mindfulness, knowing that money is coming. We will have very, informed individuals, Rebecca Haydock, and a few other people at the table who will help us understand some of those requirements. If in fact we want to line up and we want to be prepared and possibly become recipients, then that is the meeting that people need to come to. It would make sense to me because it would also be leading toward a mid-year financial perspective. You're looking at second quarter, your growth, what your needs are, where you are. And I think that there's more to come. So what I would say is that if there's anyone on the line here in the room that wants to get prepared that wants to be a recipient of that, while we're talking about SWAM or any other kinds of certifications, then you should be in the room. You can join us. We do allow for visitors. Is that not right, Andrea? And what I should have done is posted the link, didn't think about it, in the message box, but I won't. we can get that sent out if anybody is interested.
I'll send it to him after the meeting.
Thank you so kindly. But I believe that everyone in this room who is a business owner should be at that meeting. So you can start planning for your last 6 months of the year. And that was all I wanted to provide for you guys.
I appreciate that, Kay.
And to piggyback on that, Mark, and he's still on the call, Troy Robinson, the Minority Business Alliance will be celebrating with Troy with his grand opening.
Troy, yes.
Out there in Ruckersville. So
How y'all doing?
this is for Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. The ribbon cutting will be from 12 to 1. But Troy, if you have more information you'd like to share with the group about what they can expect.
Yes, it's we're out here in Greene County. Most people know me for operating, me and my wife, Maxilia, down in the downtown Charlottesville area. We have a new vehicle that has been added to our fleet that we are trying to grow this particular area up to attach to Charlottesville because a lot of people commute back and forth. It is the only African-American food truck out in this area. And we really want to do a good job of setting a standard for the way that we're viewed. So I would appreciate it and love for each and every one of y'all to come out here, even if you don't purchase anything, just to show solidarity out in the area.
Thanks, Troy.
Not a problem.
And Kay, that was a virtual training for the minority?
That is will be held via Zoom.
Okay.
On Tuesday, 25th at noon, 25th of May at noon.
Cool.
Quick question. How's it looking as far as city facilities opening, like offices, that kind of thing?
Good question.
Do we know yet, or?
Well, I read somewhere recently that we're not looking to open anytime before Labor Day.
Okay.
So I don't know anything about after Labor Day.
Okay.
I imagine that will play into the state's kind of evaluation of risk and things like that, as far as letting businesses open and all that good stuff.
For sure.
Yep. Awesome. Well, does anybody else have any more comments or questions?
I just actually realized this is my last meeting, so I should probably say like a proper goodbye. I was like, wait, the math on that. But yeah, for everyone, it's been awesome. I think I've been between the old Minority Business Task Force and the commission. I've been with y'all for 2 years. There's been a lot of new and old faces in that time. This has been amazing. Over the course of my time here, I've been trying to like set up some of the folks that we've worked with my peers at Darden. I'm going to try to preserve some of that, including the head of, I think it was Adelante, set them up with some of our Latin American students on grounds. And I want to do more to connect our Black businesses with we have two groups, the Black Business Student Alliance and the Darden African Business Organization. So I will do my best to stay involved and make sure that Darden is more active in the city of Charlottesville. And I want to thank y'all for this opportunity. And I'll see y'all on the other side.
Thanks, Greg. I appreciate that.
Thank you. And good
Much
luck.
needed.
Thank you.
Yep.
Do we have a motion to close officially?
Yeah, a motion to close, and thank you for all. A motion to close.
Thank you.
Second.
All right, we have a second.
Thank you. And I apologize. I'm having horrible internet connection issues for the past 2 days.
Bless your heart.
Comcast promise
No
it
problem.
by tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate everybody. That's one, I guess one point to make before we get out of here is that we do this quarterly. So our next meeting will be next quarter, and we'll make sure the folks get an invite. You're always welcome to come back and hear it, give us your voice and your feedback. So thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
So much.
Thank you.
Wonderful
Thank
learning
you.
opportunity.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.